Hi, just a little update about loops in bicycles. I shouldn't say even loops, it's greases, greasing your bicycle. Now, um, I've been thinking quite a lot of times grease that they mostly use during minor services outside of the bearings. Bicycle bearings aren't well protected most of the times against water and dust ingress, which is really bad. And now the grease inside, it acts as a filter and a protection against dust and water, yes, but it also attracts more dust. And the general recommendation of protecting your sealed bearings on the outside, inside your hubs, for example, or a steering column and whatnot, is to use just your regular grease, bearing grease, which could be synthetic or just oil-based, but anyway. The thing with that is I find that the bearing grease, your regular automotive NLGI2 grease, is designed in a way that it spreads around because it needs to create a coating over the tracks and rollers of the bearings to protect them and to lubricate them. But if you put it outside of a sealed bearing and it's not well protected, so obviously if the dust and water comes in, this way the oil comes out as well. And I find even if it's the thin layer of the grease, it still spreads outside and around your frame and attracts even more dirt and dust. So really not the best option. Now, I have to say that I'm still experimenting with different kinds of greases. I find that bentonite based ones, it's sort of a clay white grease, works a little bit better as a grease to, I think it could be called conservation grease, just to protect your bearing on the outside. But probably what would work the best is silicone grease. I've been using silicone grease, just started, and it seems that it's given good results. Once again, not for inside of the bearings. Inside of the bearings you need a regular bearing grease. But I'm talking about outside, in places like hubs, when you do the minor service and you take your DT Swiss hub apart and there's a top of the sealed bearings shown there, which you need to grease with something so that it's protected against water. They've been using those silicone greases in torches a lot to protect the rubber seals and thread against the water ingress, especially if you dive with those torches, and I think it works well for water protection of the bicycle bearings as well. I'll give you a little update later along the line, and if you have any other alternatives, you're more than welcome to write something in the comments. But the problem with your normal bearing grease, which a lot of people use to protect their bearings, is that it creates a lot of troubles. It does probably protect the bearings on the outside from rusting and water and sand and dust, but at the same time it attracts a lot of dust as well. So here's an idea: just use silicone grease and it cannot do any harm because it's really neutral to bearings, bearing seals, rubber, and it's not toxic as well. It's inert, so I think it's a good idea, yeah. I'll let you know how I go with it.